Hey, what is going on, YouTube? Here we are in Schweinfurt, Germany. Woke up, I don't know, it's about 8:30 in the morning, and I'm gonna do a little bit of touring around the town to see what this town has to offer. So right now, I just came across the first building, and supposedly this is an armory. Look how pretty this thing is. Such beautiful architecture right here, and that's, I guess this is where I am right there. An armory, very cool. And here we have the other side of the armory. Beautiful. I mean, look at that. Look at the ceiling, that roof. Oh, the details, the gold details on the top. Beautiful. All right, on to the next one. All right, guys, now we are right here, right there. That's right there. That will be the Altus Gymnasium Museum. Beautiful. I definitely see a theme on the buildings on this city, though. Very cool. Yeah, there's the museum right there. And it looks like we have a church on the other side. I need to figure out what church this is. And look at beautiful clock all the way on the top. I actually heard ringing 3 times a second ago. Gorgeous sound too. And I'm trying to figure out which. I think this is Saint Johannes Church, I believe. Saint Johannes Church. Let me see if I can go into the front of it over here. Yeah, I was right. This is Saint Johannes Church. Very nice. Very beautiful. So right next to it, I see this beautiful door. Look at the detail on the top of the door. Gorgeous detail. I'm not sure what this is because there's a few numbers in here. 14, 15, 16, and 17. So I'm not sure if this is the Ghana Western House Museum, or maybe that is the museum right there. I am not quite sure, or maybe that one over there might be it. I'm not quite sure, but this little area, this little courtyard over here has beautiful structures for sure. This is from my friend Darion, which has Martin Luther right here. Alright, yes, I see right next to the church is the Ghana Western House Museum right there. So that is the museum, and that is number 17 on my. Now I'm gonna go to this number 11 right there. See if I can make it there. Beautiful structures over here. This is gorgeous. One thing is beautiful in here. One of the doors of the church. Beautiful statues, and they have a gnome entrance over here, and that's something. All right, and this here is called the White Tower. This served as a cellar and a refuge for people in World War II to get away from bombings. And supposedly there is a refuge in here, inside there. So very cool, very cool history for sure. All right, this is the site where the milk gate was, that was demolished back in 1876, but it had the name because of a mill that it was through the river, but unfortunately it got destroyed after it was damaged in World War II and then repaired, but then also there you go. So here's the gate right there. Well, unfortunately not here no more. It's just a brick wall at this moment now. Alright, so now we are approaching the Salvator Church. Right there. Beautiful structure. Look at that clock on the top. That is just so cool. Saint Salvator. Of course, we're on the back of the church now. We go down the stairs and see the front of the church. Here we have the front of the church. Alright, don't you enjoy these Bavarian style houses? This is just beautiful. Look at all this architecture. It's just amazing. Look at this statue over here. This is pretty cool. Did that without even thinking about it. I rubbed the snout on the pig, and it's supposed to bring me good luck. Check it out. Had no idea. Alright guys, now let's get a little bit excited. Let's get excited about this. Oh my goodness, what a sight! This is just amazing. There we go. You're not gonna believe your eyes when you see this. Boom. How can you be so excited about a crane? Well, the crane is the main bastion rotary grab crane. The main bastion along the river Main was expanded and massively reinforced up until the 30-year war. Walls up to 2 meters thick provided protection against invaders. Today, the city beach on the former bastion complements the leisure activity in the summer months. Come on, people, let's get excited about a crane. Come on. Look at this beautiful crane. How about these guys? How about it? Look at the river. Beautiful. Just gorgeous. Hey guys, this over here is the Harmony Building. It's the Natural History Museum. It was erected in 1833. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Right next to the river. Just extraordinary. This was yet another one of those destroyed gates of the city. Check it out. right out here we have the Georg Schaefer Museum. There, it was opened in 2000, and it was designed by architect Volker Stab, and it was a building in the form of a cube. So another structure, and then right across the street we got this one right here. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's right up there. Look at the comparison. These new versus old, and they can combine new versus old, and it's still beautiful. And right in here we have the city hall at the market square. It's kind of funny because there is look at that, people selling flowers, products, everything, of course beer, and that is city hall right there. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. And you know, they got all kinds of stuff right here. So pretty. In the middle of the square we have a statue to Frederick Rocker, and this is one of the most famous people in Schweinfurt. He was a poet, and his literature masterpieces, they've been translated to a lot of languages. Look how beautiful this is. Now we are right there. That is the Cotton's the shot tower. You can barely see it through the tree, but that is the shot tower. And they keep machinery. They collect the machinery from the old mills. Let's get a little bit closer over here, so we can see the front of it. Here's the information about it. So I was a little bit mistaken. This tower actually did the shotgun pebbles for guns. So they shoot it from the top, and then when we get it to the bottom, it's supposed to be the perfect round. And look at the door. Look how impressive this door is with this little green. Very cool. I was just talking to some musicians here, and I guess today is some type of something, but they're gonna play music all over town. So I don't know what it is, but it's pretty cool. But I see a lot of musicians dressed up in different types of outfits. So what's the name of the thing today?
This is Pflasterklang.
What is it?
My name is Rudi.
And what is today? What's going on today?
This is a music festival called Pflasterklang, and it works out on the street all through the city. On
Beautiful.
several places.
All through the city, guys. So.
Yes. I hope. Oh, shit.
All right, we're back in the river, and we got the Industrial Museum. There's some chess pieces on the windows. Pretty cool. Beautiful stone building for sure. So here we are approaching the Garrisman Promenade. There's a lot of green spaces around Schweinfurt, right next to the river. Beautiful sculptures over here. You can see one right there. There's one coming up over there. Looks like a face. But very nice coming right next to the river. See, there's the face coming up right there. Beautiful green spaces for sure. I love this area. I mean, they got the green spaces, but then they put in all this industrial stuff here from the mills. This is so dang cool. Look at this machinery. I mean, wow, this is just incredible. So cool. I believe that is number 24. Is it another tower? But there's supposed to be a bridge around here. But I think I have to go up here and then come back down. I mean, the bridge is no longer there. I think there's like some parts of the bridge still there. So let's go this way. But this is definitely the tower. Let's see what the thing says here. The Virgin Kiss. Mysterious tower building. Preserved tower structure making the southwestern corner of the Schweinfurt city wall. Huh. Kiss to you. There we go. I think this is the bridge right here. And if I'm mistaken, yeah. Right there. And it was built in 1748, I believe, and it used to be wooden, but then it was rebuilt into rock. And as you can see, there's a few parts of the bridge right in there under a modern building. How about that? And again, old and new together. Beautiful combination. This is supposed to be an old cemetery around here. I think it's around this part over here. Let's see if we can find it. Around this corner probably. I see a little sign on there. So I believe it's probably up here. So let's go up in here, see what we got. Yeah, the graveyard. There we go. Looks like there's some type of monument in the middle in there. See what is that all about. And maybe there is a graveyard in there, maybe. Not quite sure from here, but it might be some type of graveyard right in there. There's a couple of another graveyard over there. A very cool statue in the middle. Look like a few people like together. Very weird looking. And there's a rock on this side. Let's see what this one says. So yeah, definitely a graveyard for sure. Surrounded by buildings, surrounded by all this modern architecture. Very interesting. Now we are right there, and that is this one right here, the Holy Gates Church. Sorry about my pronunciation, but it looks so pretty. Beautiful top, the little rosetton in the middle. so pretty. And look at these lions marking the entrance of the graveyard. So beautiful. Look at that. Look at that at the door. Beautiful. Beautiful. And you keep walking and walking and walking, and you see impressive stuff that they're not even on the map. But check this out. Look at that. So pretty. So now this area over here is called Gaggersbrunnen. Is the city gamekeeper. And then if we go up, we can find the Museum of Modern Art right here. The Museum of Modern Art, and that is that white structure that you see in the back right over there with a little statue on the front. Very, very cool. You can see a closer look at the Museum of Modern Art. Next we are gonna try to go to number 19, that is the Chaledon Park, Hopeless Tower, and that will be the end of our tour. And then go back to the hotel. I'll probably get something to eat, and then I go to see if I can see those people that I met during the way. They have some type of art festival, and they're gonna be playing music all around town. So I'm gonna try to catch some of their music for sure. Here we have the park. Nice little bridge, aqueduct looking thing on the background there. Beautiful structure in the middle here. Now we're trying to find the tower. That might be the tower over there. Very cool. My hotel is right over there. B&B Hotel. I can see it from here.
I did a whole video on this.
All right, you say it best. What's going on over here, Darion?
Well, it's a long story, but Black Thursday, if you look up Black Thursday in Schweinfurt, Germany, happened in 1944, and we lost like 634 men, and because Schweinfurt is right dead center in Germany, and they had a ball bearing plant here, so it was a very strategic city to bomb. But B-17 can only hold so much fuel, and the escorts only hold so much fuel, so they had to veer off. They could protect the B-17s. So it was a mission, they had to do it. Now the commanders would say, you don't have to do this, anybody could back out, you'll be honored, no problem. But every man says, we're gonna go, we're gonna take care of the mission. Well, they all came in, the escorts left and everything, and the B-17 was just empty, fully loaded to bomb the bomb bearing plant. Well, again, 600 something men and all those planes. This is the site of one of the B-17 planes where a lot of men died right here in this very, very spot. And this is part of the building that was here, what's left. So the plane actually made that little crease in this memorial here. So in memory of citizens of Schweinfurt and the airmen of the 8th U.S. Air Force. By the way, there's a U.S. Air Force Museum, the 8th Air Force Museum off I-95 in South Georgia, but you're going northbound lane. 8th U.S. Air Force Museum, so check it out when you're there. And the German Luftwaffe, who lost their lives in the mission, 115 October 14, 1943, known to those who were there as Black Thursday. So all this is dedicated to all those who were there, who witnessed it, and all that good stuff. And there's more memorials like this all over the city, spread out, and so much history. And I will tell you this little tidbit here. Back in 1989, I had a day off. It was a Friday, and I had a day off that Friday. So I'm walking around downtown, and there was a bunch of guys, American guys and German guys, drinking beer and going inside before. I'm like, what in the world's going on here? But what it was some pilots on both sides, German and American, and also the gunners, the flat gunners here, German gunners were shooting at them. They were all hugging and drinking beer together, and a lot of tears and having a good time. And I witnessed that with my own eyes, and it was really cool. But that's in a nutshell. But there's so much history right here in Schweinfurt, Germany. This is where I lived for 2 years, stationed at Leeward Barracks, home of the 3rd Infantry Division at that time, which later came to the Big Red 1, and other divisions after that. But 3rd ID is now in Fort Stewart, Georgia, in a place called Hinesville, Georgia. But I'll talk your ears off, Ralphie.
All right, guys. So this was Mr. Darion on this part of the video. I didn't have him this morning, so this is cool that he saw me, because I saw this part in the beginning, but I didn't see that. So check out his channel, Magnificent Germany with Darion, for more stuff like this and more. Everything about Germany that you want to know, and things that you don't want to know. Beautiful walls here in this city. I mean, it's surrounded by walls. It reminds me a lot of my city in Spain, that we got a fortress on the top side of my city in Vigo. It reminds me a lot of my city for sure. Here's the sign for the Hopeless Tower. And then just around the corner, that's where my hotel is. Includes the city tour for the city of Schweinfurt. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up and put a comment. Until we see each other again, remember, life is short. Travel more.